And I remember thinking, oh my God, I might be overdosing right now.
A lifetime of struggle hits a new rock bottom. What we've now learned about Demi Lovato's overdose.
When I heard heroin, I thought, does this not fit?
Plus, Demi and Mom, the Access interview that reveals so much more than you've ever heard before.
I've really never talked about this stuff before, so it's like kind of...
Welcome to Access. Radio host Mike Catherwood and Jolie Fisher are here, and both of you have powerful stories to share about addiction as well. We're going to get to that in a moment. First, though, we have the very latest on Demi Lovato, one day after being rushed to the hospital following an apparent overdose.
I've talked a lot about my struggles, the things that I've been through, but, you know, I'm a different person today. The last decade has taught me a lifetime of lessons. Everything that I've been through shaped me into the person that I am today.
Less than a year ago, Demi seemed to be on the other side of her struggles. Now, after an apparent overdose at her home, she is awake, responsive, and with her family.
Engine 97, rescue 35, unconscious.
The 911 call refers to her as unconscious, but it's still unknown what Demi overdosed on. The source tells us it was not heroin, as previously reported. She was given Narcan, a medication which reverses the effects of an opioid overdose.
I don't know why I do it every time. It's only when I'm lonely.
Last month, Demi released the song Sober, which revealed she had relapsed after 6 years of sobriety. And on Sunday, 2 days before her overdose, she forgot the words while performing it.
Sorry that I'm here again.
I forgot the words.
And there were some warning signs, reports saying she'd recently been partying and that her overdose came after a party at her home. She also cut ties with many longtime members of her team, including her sober coach, Mike Baer, who helped her get clean and spoke in her 2017 YouTube documentary, Demi Lovato, Simply Complicated.
She's so black and white. She really one day would want to get well, the next day not want to get well.
Selena Gomez, who has not yet commented on Demi's overdose, starred with Demi on Barney and Friends when they were kids. Selena's mom, Mandy, just shared this photo, writing, "This was exactly 10 years ago at Selena's Sweet 16. Demi Lovato, we love you. The world is a better place because of these infectious smiles. My heart hurts."
I have several best friends, and I definitely consider Nick and Joe as two of them.
Demi dated her Camp Rock co-star Joe Jonas back in 2010. He just tweeted, "Like all of you, I'm thinking of Demi Lovato right now." His brother Nick tweeted, "I am reeling at the news about Demi. All of us love her and need to pray for her to get well. She's a fighter."
We know each other.
Today on the British ITV show Loose Women, Kelly Osbourne spoke about her own experiences with addiction.
You're never fixed. You spend your whole entire life doing everything you can to never pick up and use again. I can't imagine what Demi's going through right now, even though I know what it's like to have the whole world talking about you in your most vulnerable state. And I think people just need to show love and pray for her.
Mama, I'm so sorry, I'm not sober anymore.
You have been through so much in 22 years. In one word, how do you describe yourself?
I don't have one word to describe myself. I guess strong.
And she's going to need that strength. And as we mentioned, Mike and Jolie, you both have dealt with issues with addiction, your own battles. And Jolie, I mean, you had to see your dad go through it, your sister, Carrie Fisher, as well.
I think one thing that this kind of a story, we all are waiting for it to be positive. And it has sort of galvanized us lately, losing people like my sister, Carrie, Prince, those we were talking about earlier, that there is a focus on it. And we all struggle privately, and this young lady has made her struggle public. And so we all are rooting for her, definitely.
And, you know, as we've seen with Demi Lovato, she's talked about 6 years of sobriety, but relapse is unfortunately part of recovery. It's a chronic disease that doesn't just go away if you've got some time under your belt, and she'll be fine. She's going to use this, I think, to build upon, and she'll be okay. She's someone who really, I think, understands herself and has become self-aware through all her struggles.
Yes.
And, you know, I just want to point out that this is, unfortunately, part of the recovery process.
And getting help from the right people. Dr. Drew Pinsky, who helped you a lot with your recovery, is going to talk to us coming up in a little bit as well. Well, Demi has been extremely forthcoming on her addiction battle, and never more so than in her 2017 documentary, Simply Complicated.
There was one night where I used a bunch of Coke and I popped a few Xanax bars and I started to choke a little bit. And my heart started racing. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I might be overdosing right now.
Now, that might have been enough of a wake-up call for some, but Demi admits that despite going to rehab where she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at age 18, she wasn't ready to be sober and relapsed shortly after. Now, consider all that she dealt with in her childhood, experiencing intense fame, eating disorders, self-harm, and drug and alcohol abuse.
When I was 12, I was bullied. This girl who was popular started saying Demi should kill herself. And it resulted in a suicide petition that got passed around. My first time doing Coke, I was 17, working on Disney Channel. I was scared, but I did it anyways, and I loved it. My dad was an addict and an alcoholic, and I guess I always searched for what he found in drugs and alcohol, because it fulfilled him and he chose that over a family.
Demi's mother, former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader Diana De La Garza, feels she may be partly to blame for her daughter's struggles.
I may have passed that along to my kids, that wanting everything to be perfect and need to be thin and beautiful to be successful.
I'm coming up on 5.5 years of sobriety, but one thing that I haven't fully conquered is my eating disorder. I relapsed with throwing up, binging, purging. What started the relapse was missing Wilmer.
That's Wilmer Valderrama she's talking about, her ex-boyfriend. The two had an on-again, off-again relationship for 6 years.
I've never loved anybody like I loved Wilmer. And like I still love Wilmer. When I was in a relationship with Wilmer, I went 3 years without purging. And when we broke up, that's one of the first things I did. And when I feel lonely, like my heart feels hungry. Right. And then I end up binging.
All right, well, straight ahead, you just heard a little bit there from Demi's mother as well. Well, a few years back, we covered everything for a 5-part series with Demi and Mom sitting side by side, and how Demi hid her cocaine use so well, and the secret weapon behind an intervention that worked wonders at that time. So we'll talk more about that. We'll be right back.